Then why didn't you tell me directly? He questioned loudly, making me stunned and blankly stare at him. He was so mad, you can see it as you helplessly lowered your eyes. It's my fault. I shouldn't have hidden it from you. I didn't want to hide it, but I was afraid you will misunderstand me. His relationship with Jung Han was sensitive to begin with, so you didn't dare to mention it in front of him for this reason. What a plain reason, he sneered, tightening his grip. You looked into his eyes. I didn't handle this matter rightly. I apologize to you, Jungkook. You felt really difficult to explain what to say, that you didn't trust him at all. You took a deep breath quietly, looking at him. You don't have any warmth in his eyes. That made your heart felt cold. Facing him like this, you felt that the courage you had mustered up with great difficulty was slowly fading. You were afraid. It's hard to say, but if you didn't say it now, it will be more harder to talk later. You bite your lower lip that was still in pain. Jungkook, we divorce? He suddenly interrupted, making me shocked. I have already given you the contract. Didn't you always want it? Didn't you? As you wish, take the contract and leave. You can be with whoever you want in the future. It has nothing to do with me. He forcefully pulled his hand away from you. You widened your eyes and stood up. Are you serious? You're not only angry at me, but you really want to divorce me? He grinned. Do you think I am joking? You choked on the air and couldn't speak, as if something was blocking your heart. Go, this place is not suitable for you. Fine. Your sister was supposed to be here, right? But you took that from her. Now you are free. You felt hurt, like knives stabbed on your heart. He said it indifferently, and you accepted it with extremely difficulty. Indeed, this place was not yours. You can leave. You saw him turning to leave. You felt sorrow, but immediately realized that if you let him leave now, he won't allow you to be here ever again. So you quickly rushed to him and blocked his way out. You want to chase me away just like that? Don't you like me at all? John Jungkook, who asked me to believe him before. Now that you are chasing me away, how can I trust you? It's up to you. It has nothing to do with me. He stared at you expressionlessly. You also looked at him stubbornly. He wiped his lips, emotionless. You couldn't process at first, but bitter smile appeared. What you are telling me, that even if you hate me, that way you are simply treating me as a doll, right? Since you know, get lost. You felt good, but he hated it when others betrayed him. He saw the suffering of his mother. That way he would never follow his mother's footsteps. Since you were so unsettled, he would end it with his own hands. He will let you go to the person you wanted to go. You sat there without reaction, with head lowered like frightened bunny, but then slowly stood up. Do you know, Jungkook? I came here today to make peace with you. I know I did something wrong that night, so I have to pay a certain price to pay it back. Even if you're angry with me, it's right because I didn't keep my promise. I'm willing to accept punishment as long as you do not divorce me. His pupils shrank. What did this woman say? I really like you. Tears filled your eyes. That night, there was indeed a reason later on. I decided that I want to be with you. You slowly reached out your hands. So don't chase me away, please. You wrapped your arms around his neck, whole body hanging on him. He was sitting steadily, but after being pounced by you, he actually almost retreated from the wheelchair. He felt soft and weak hands wrapping around him. Those sobs was right beside his ears, making his heart almost move. Give me another chance. I will not see him anymore. I want to be with you, okay? You hugged him. As long as you worked hard, you would not have any regrets. Jungkook, please give me another chance, just once. If you push me away again, I really don't have the courage to rely on you anymore. So please don't push me away, please. You closed your eyes, kept repeating in your heart, hoping that he could communicate with you at this moment, but there was no. He suddenly grabbed your arms, wanting to pull you away. You immediately reacted and anxiously grabbed his neck tightly. Not willing to let go of him at all, he frowned. When did this woman learn this kind of pestering technique? He has never seen you like this before. Now, you actually. He frowned more. Let go, he said with deep voice. You shook your head, closing eyes tightly, as if you were ready to know caution to the wind. I won't. Are you going to let go? No, I won't. Even if I die, Jungkook, I just want to pester you. We are already married. You can't treat me like this. He suddenly laughed in a low voice that was filled with full of sarcasm. What a good acting. If I didn't know in advance, I'm afraid I would have been deceived by you. You were stunned as your grip loosened a little. Taking advantage of this, he grabbed your hands and pushed you away. You took few steps back and stabilized yourself, looking at him extremely hurt. Sure enough, he still pushed you away. He really wanted to divorce you. Looks like you won't give up. If you don't know the truth, come with me. He turned to leave. You stayed there for long before slowly following him outside the lounge. At his office table, he opened his drawer, then take out the leather bag and threw it in the table. Look, get lost after you finish reading. Such a hard stone. You suddenly felt disheartened as you stood still looking at him, disbelief. That look made him frown uncomfortably. What's wrong? No matter what's inside, it's all your reason to dismiss me, isn't it? He pursed his lips and didn't speak. He stared at you with a deep gaze, so you revealed a smile. I won't look anymore. In any case, you can have millions of reasons for me to leave. Since I have already humbly begged you, but you still push me away, then just as you wish. You didn't go forward to take the document. You didn't want to know what was inside. You had done enough, but he didn't look back at all. What was you staying for? I have disturbed you during this period of time. I will not bother you anymore. You bowed to him, trying your best to force back the tears that was already falling. You give him a big smile painfully. Since it was your own choice, why you act like this in front of him? To see what you want to say in him, emotions that were hidden in the corner of his heart. But such a heartless man. His lips moved but didn't say a word. He felt very bad. He slowly turned around to leave the office. When you walked out of the office and bumped into Minho, he was stunned. Young madam, you walked past him, not even looking at him. He was very curious why you appear with that kind of expression. He quickly rushed towards office, wanting to ask Jungkook about it, but Jungkook directly said angrily, "Get rid of this information. She is not allowed to come to the Jones group in the future." Minho was stunned. Young master, John, are you planning to break off completely with young madam? Did you really not regret it? Jungkook raised his brows. When did you question my decision? His voice was sharp, as Minho couldn't help feeling bad. But young master John, this matter, get out. Young master, get out. He suddenly lost his temper and swept the things away from the table. This made loud sounds. Minho chose to silently leave the office. Jenny was anxiously waiting in the financial department for almost 2 hours, but she didn't get any news from you. She was wondering what was going on between you two. She felt happy when she thought your matters will be settled soon. Two of you would definitely able to fix it. But then one of employee came to her talking randomly and said that you had left while ago. What? She instantly exploded. She left? When? 10 minutes ago. Jenny cursed underneath and rushed out of the department, once asking if you live with someone or alone. Cause she need to confirm if you live with Jungkook. It's not convenient for her to disturb, but hearing that you left alone and wasn't seemed to be in good mood, Jenny couldn't delay and rushed out of company. Security guard also helped her telling the direction of you went. Company's employees gossip seeing you like that. Jenny immediately thought that if your mood was not so good, it meant you and Jungkook probably broke off the conversation. Because of broken heart, you might forgot that she was still waiting for you in the department. She need to find you quickly, otherwise it will be very dangerous for you to walk out like that. She ran in the road looking around and saw you sitting on the side of the road. You were actually tired after walking for a while, so you randomly found a place to sit down. You didn't care whether the surroundings ground was dirty or not. Jenny came running to you while painting, finally found you Ryan. You really scared me to death. Why are you sitting here? Quickly get up and come back with me. You didn't move. You had cried and your eyes are red and there was dried tears left in your cheeks. She sighed before squatted in front of you. Don't be sad. Come back with me first, okay? Let's talk about what happened and we will find the solution, okay? You looked up and stared at her. She felt heartache for you. She didn't know what made you both broke off like this. You were not in your right situation to talk anything, so she slowly pulled your hand. Get up first. I will bring you back. Your eyes are red, but tears didn't fall anymore. Jenny, I'm afraid I will disappoint you. Her heart hurt. Whined you. I am separated from him. You smiled faintly, then tears flowed down again. He really doesn't want me. She felt uncomfortable. She don't know how to comfort you. Her words are useless. Even if you wanted to say she can't fix anything for you, she motivated that both of you can talk this later, finding the way. But there was no other way. Your courage has been used. He don't want you. You won't go and talk to him anymore when he clearly tell you to get out of his life. Okay then, let's not look for him. Let's find a man who is 100 times more powerful than him. Okay? Look at Jung Han. He treats you so well. She suddenly realized Jung Han's name. That's right. Ask him for help now. She can't handle alone the matter and he will help you. Thinking, she excused herself before calling Jung Han, telling about your condition. I got it. I will be right back. Okay, hurry up. She looks a little scary now. I'm worried I can't handle her myself. After she hung the call, she turned back but saw no one. You had been sitting there for long, but suddenly disappeared. Why? Mom, go talk to sister. I want to apply for the art class outside, but that private school is so expensive. Help me talk to sister. It's only costs $300,000. Dani, her mother helplessly sighed. It's not that, Mom is not willing to help you, but you saw how your big sister was like that last time. She came, she's not even willing to care about me. Now, what an ingrate to think that I raised her up so much. After she married into Joan family and became a rich wife, she actually wanted to kick us away. Dani immediately felt indignant. I was the one who gave her this position back then. The reason why she could become the young madam of the Joan family was because of me. If I didn't give her the position, she would not have today. Mom, you must tell sister to pay the tuition fees for me, otherwise we will expose her identity. Her mother was furious, but then idea popped on. That's right, exposed. You was already divorced once. As long as they can threaten you, you will obediently give them money. Tani snuggled into her mother's embrace. Wouldn't it be a bit insincere if we do this, Mom? After all, she is. But her mother cut her. What's insincere about it? If you didn't give this marriage to her, would she have today? She must be grateful. We are the one who contributed to her success today. Dani, don't worry. Mom will definitely find her and make it clear you will have money for your tuition fees. They both talked nicely until doorbell rang. Dani went to open and was stunned. There were several men in the suits standing in a serious expression. A man with deep eyes and an outstanding temperament was in the middle, looking steadily. Hello, may I ask if this is the Yu family? Dani didn't react. Her mother came looking and was afraid before shouting at her daughter to close the door. But men quickly stopped. They're so scared they thought men are game to collect debts. We don't have money right now. If you want money, go find my daughter. She's young madam of the John family. She can give you a lot of money. Mrs. Yu almost cried. The leading man with a noble and cold temperament frowned. What did you say? Mrs. Yu explained that you are the elder daughter of her that married into John family and you are wealthy. They can ask money from you, but Dani pulled her mother not to talk nonsense. Maybe these men are not here to collect for debts, as they look gentle and noble. Dani apologized for her mother's behalf. I am sorry, why you guys are here for? A girl who was wearing formal attire came walking in her high heels. Behind the men smiling, Mrs. Yu, I'm really sorry to disturb you guys, but we do not have any bad intention and we are not here to collect debts. Please do not worry. She handed the name card. After that, introduces herself. They're the richest family, like Jones in the South Korea. They came in Yu family's door. It was not the simple matter, so Dani politely welcomed them in. She was impressed of the nobleman. How nice would that be if she can find the man like this? Mrs. Yu was relieved knowing that these people are not there to collect debts and smiled at them, but the man's face was expressionless from the beginning. The girl explained the matters that they came there to talk. Dani served them tea. The cold man avoided her touch without a trace. When she leaned forward, her mother told her to go out to buy some snacks. Mrs. Yu was getting some idea and thought of something. Although Dani have boyfriend and treat her well and was rich, but the man in front of her was the second richest business tycoon. Compared to this man, Dani's boyfriend and this man's difference was like between clouds and mud. The girl took out the photo, putting in the tea table. Mrs. Yu's fawning smile froze as she saw the pictures and raised her head to look at them. What does this mean? The girl asked if she saw these pictures before, and Mrs. Yu's reaction was obvious, but she chose to deny. But the girl kept taking out every clue that connected with that particular person, making Mrs. Yu panic. This baby, how did she not know? The girl's face became serious. Mrs. Yu can't even recognize her own daughter's photo. Could it be that the years are too long, causing you to already forget what your daughter looked like when she was born? Mrs. Yu trembled, but the girl looked harmless. Mrs. Yu anxiously kept staring at the pictures. So the baby belongs to this rich family, but how she still refused to know? How could people still search for this baby? When they first bring her home, no one came to claim this baby as theirs. Now after 18 years, this rich family came asking and showing clues. Seeing that Mrs. Yu was not willing to recognize and try best to cover it up, The girl explained the documents she collected, all the past biodata of the child that abducted by human traffickers, but then Mrs. Yu accidentally exposed while denying.